Maayong hapon Mindanao, mabuhay Davao Region. Once again po, good afternoon po sa lahat ng aming mga tagapanood, taga-subaybay sa webinar na ito. And welcome po sa ating sesyon sa hapong ito patungkol po sa ating orientation on the guidelines in developing learning resources for the learning management system. Ayan po, maraming salamat po muli sa inyong pag-aantay at naway manatili kayong nakaantabay po. Ano po? Para po sa mga diskusyon na gagawin patungkol po sa ating mga learning resources na gagamitin po sa ating LMS na ipapasok po doon sapagkat kinakailangan po nating malaman ito para po sigurado ang ating mailalagay doon ay quality assured. Bago po muli ang lahat, binabati ko po ng magandang hapon ang panrehiyong direktor ng DepEd Regional Office 11 na si Dr. Evelyn R. Fitalvero, kasama po ang ating Assistant Regional Director Dr. Maria Ines C. Asuncion. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat mga madams. And of course, binabati din po namin ang lahat po ng chiefs ng 8 functional division ng buong Rehiyon 11 at ganon din po ang lahat ng tagapamanihalang pansangay at katuwang na tagapamanihalang pansangay ng mga paaralan sa buong 11 sangay ng Davao Region. Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. And of course, sa mga participants namin ngayon na kasama sa webinar na ito. Okay po? So bago po tayo magsimula ng formal na diskusyon at saka presentasyon patungkol sa ating webinar na ito, inaanyayahan ko po ang lahat na magbigay-pugay po sa ating pambansang watawat. Susundan po yan ng panalangin at ganoon din po ng ating himno ng Rehiyon 11. Yan. Mag-Ludes. Okay po.
Madinyu, Persia, Region, pinanggang yuta, may bukid apong halabing taas. Haring agilan na sudnong langgang, waling-waling haras sa kabulakan. May ulawan ug haring durian, lubi ug saging, bugas damian, yutang gimahal sa Davao Wenyo, makugihong mga tao. Ang milangkot mga probinsya, mga dakbayan nagkahiusa, may gituuhan nga Dios, Davao de Oro, Davao Oriental, del Norte Occidental, del Sur, siyudad sa Davao, Panabutagong, Samal Island, Mati ug Digos. Davao Region, gipanalikdan, mga bahanding kinaiyahan, yutang tabunok, daghanang nindot, nga kapanginabuhian. Garbo sa tanan ng Davao Region, among yuta nga gipangga.
Ayan, maraming salamat po sa aming direktor. Ano po? Sa punto pong ito, makakasama natin on screen ang Education Program Supervisor at the same time, ang LRMS Manager po natin na walang iba kundi si Madam Analiza Almazan. Ma'am Ann, good afternoon po.
Good afternoon, Sir June. Hello, everyone. Good
Hi,
afternoon.
ma'am.
Yes, Sir June. Maayong hapon sa tanan.
Maayong hapon
Yes,
sa tanan, ma'am. So ma'am, actually po gustuhin man natin at naisin natin na makakasama sa puntong ito ang ating CLMD chief, gayon pa man po ay nasa biyahe pa po siya at official na travel sa division ng Davao Occidental at pauwi pa lamang po siya. So paalam na lang po natin sa ating mga manonood ngayon na mamaya po ay makakasama natin pa rin siya sa virtual podium na ito. Ano po? So, Ma'am Analiza, I know po na ang ating mga participants ngayon ay excited na rin na makapagsimula tayo sa ating webinar na ito dahil ito po ang isa or ito ang pinakauna na mahalagang pag-uusapan natin, lalong-lalo na po ay nagde-develop tayo ngayon ng mga learning materials. Ano po? So, kailangan talaga ito na mabusising gawin at ng ating mga writers, ganun din po ng mga lahat ng mga naka-assign na mga regional editors, yung ating mga layout artists, at saka po yung ating mga illustrators, ano po, para sigurado tayo na di kalidad ang ating mailalagay sa ating learning management system. So Ma'am Ann, sino ba ang mga kasama natin sa hapong ito?
Okay, so our participants for this afternoon's activity, before I will be mentioning them, I would like to extend my courtesy to RD, ARD, to our CLMD chief, to the different chiefs of the function divisions, the CID chiefs of the schools division offices, and of course to all the audience that we have right now, the members of our development team, and of course with us, our regional education program supervisors in the different learning areas. So Sir June, our participants, I will be calling the division offices. So we have with us the development teams from Davao City. Ayan, Davao City, kaway-kaway kayo dyan. We have also from Davao de Oro. Hello, good afternoon, Davao de Oro. Davao del Norte. We have from Davao del Sur, Davao Occidental, Davao Oriental, Digos City, Igacos, or Island Garden City of Samal. We have Damati City, Panabo City, and Tagum City. And of course, these development teams are headed by their education program supervisors, spearheaded, of course, by the regional education program supervisors. So I would like to to present our EPSs in the regional offices as team leaders of this development. We have from Science, Dr. Maria Liza Berandoy. We also have from English and also for the SPJ, Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo. For Filipino, we have Dr. Mary Jane M. Mejorada. For Math, Dr. Renato N. Pakpakin. For MAPE, SPA, SPS, and SPED, Dr. Jesseline B. De La Cuesta. For Alive and Araling Panlipunan, Dr. Danilo R. Duhinog. For ESP, SPFL, we have Dr. Maria Cielo Estrada. For MTB and Multigrade, Dr. George N. Wong. For EPP, TLE, and TVL, Dr. Fidelina O. Huevos. For kindergarten, yours truly, Annalisa C. Almazan. So, yung mga, kaway-kaway dyan, mga participants, mga EPS that who will be leading the team. And of course, we have also the ALS, Dr. Marcel Langahe. Together with our development teams are our Learning Resource Management Section Managers, the 11 LRMS Managers, and the SDOs. Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. Ayan, so Sir June, those are our participants for this activity. But of course, our development teams, they are composed of our writers, okay, the writers, the in-house content editors, in-house language editors, we have the layout artists and the illustrators. So there are 9 per grade level and per learning area in each school division office. So those are our participants, Sir June. Okay?
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ayan po. So, ma'am, ay paalam lamang po natin sa ating mga participants, live po tayo sa dalawa nating portal. Live po tayo sa ating YouTube channel na CLMD at ganoon din po sa ating Facebook page. Naka-live din po tayo ngayon sa webinar na ito po. Okay? So, ma'am, bago tayo magpatuloy, may ilan ka pa po bang mga paalala po para sa ating mga participants sa hapong ito?
Okay, so we come up with this activity because this is in pursuance to the direction of the Department of Education Regional Office 11, that is to provide each school and community learning center a ready, scalable online learning management system, and that is what we call the LMS. Last week, our illustrators and layout artists, they're doing their online training on how to manipulate the LMS. Okay, and that was spearheaded by, of course, by our ICTU together with the regional education program supervisors. So this LMS will serve as a source of educational resources and platform for all learning delivery modalities. So that is why we are gathered here to come up with interactive lesson exemplars and activity sheets per learning area and grade level. Okay, Sir June, because of that, we need to come up with guidelines. So this is our orientation on the guidelines in developing learning resources. So these guidelines are patterned to the guidelines given to us by the Bureau of Learning Resources, and that is our BLR, the one managing the different learning resources we developed in the field. Okay, so Sir June, so that is the meat of why we are here in our activity today.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Ma'am Ann. So I think okay na po ang inyong presentation. So this time po, simulan na po natin ang ating orientation.
Okay. So my dear participants, writers, our illustrators, our layout artists, in-house editors, and of course to the development team leaders, the education program supervisors, together with, of course, with the coordination and collaboration with the Learning Resource Management section. This is our guidelines in developing learning resources. So first is we try to identify our needs. So that is why we come up with needs assessment. In our needs assessment po, this is all about the management team shall start with the identification and analysis of needs. Meaning to say, we need to come up with curriculum mapping. In our case right now, because of this pandemic, we will use the most essential learning competencies. So we believe that each development team has already a copy of this most essential learning competencies given to us by the Bureau of Curriculum Division. At the same time, this is uploaded in the LR portal. So you can get po this mix from the LR portal. So we call that one milks kasi, okay, in the ADM. So we will, starting right now, we'll call that as milks. Okay, so that's, we identify already the needs. So that is why the milks would somehow address our needs to still continue doing the instruction, the teaching and learning instruction. So after we come up with that need, we go into the design and development phase. So what will happen in the design and development? So this is all about the organization of the development team with the following composition. So we have, diba, you are identified as writers, illustrators, layout artists, in-house content editors, and in-house language editors. So with that, this is your terms of reference. If you are the writers, please take note of this. You are going to write the manuscript according to the LR standards. Then approve the illustrations that you want to be incorporated in your manuscript. Incorporate comments and suggestions on the manuscript. Then obtain permission to use copyrighted materials from the original owners. Ensure that the copyright and intellectual property law is strictly followed during the development process. Certify that the manuscript is free from copyrighted and intellectual property issues. Attend orientation and editorial meetings related to the development of learning resources. Signed off, ready to print manuscript. Then accomplish the following forms. So take note of these forms: writer's assignment agreement, illustrations summary and approval sheet, copyright originality form, pro forma communications seeking permission, then that is permission to copy when needed, then inventory of third-party contents, then the metadata form. Okay, all this form po can be taken from the LRMS in your respective SDO. So if you are an in-house content editor, this is your terms of reference. Review and verify the accuracy of the contents of the manuscript and if it is free from social content violations and plagiarized content and illustrations. Check the compliance of learning resource or manuscript to the curriculum standards, and that is the most essential learning competencies or the NELTs. Then give comments and recommendations. Help the writer in developing content or in revising the parts that need improvement. Ensure that given comments and suggestions are incorporated in the manuscript. Prepare and submit the manuscript with marginal notes. Attend orientation and editorial meetings related to the development of the LR. So that's for the content editor. For the language editor, review the manuscript for language errors, that is faithfulness in translation, coherence and clarity, grammar and syntax, spelling and punctuation, consistency in style, and the like. Then ensure the compliance of learning resource or manuscript to the required style guide. So our style guide to be used is the Chicago Manual of Style. Then give comments and recommendations. Ensure that given comments and suggestions are incorporated in the manuscript. Prepare and submit a manuscript with marginal notes. Attend orientation, editorial meetings related to the development of LR. So how about for the illustrators? So illustrators provide illustrations and visuals needed in the manuscript according to the LR standards. Then finalize illustrations and visuals based on the writers' and reviewers' comments and suggestions. Attend orientation and editorial meetings related to the development of LR, and then accomplish the artwork assignment agreement. So for the layout artist, will be the one to have the last touch of the material. So So lay out the manuscript according to the LR standards. Attend orientation and editorial meetings. Submit the editable digital file of the manuscript on the agreed schedule following the LR standards. So we know already our functions. So we're ready to write. So we have here, so each writer and illustrator shall sign the writer-illustrator assignment agreement. For the development team leaders, please ensure po that the members of the development team have signed or have a copy of this assignment agreement because they really need to have or to sign this agreement. Meaning to say, this is giving right to the Department of Education to utilize their intellectual property right because they will be writing. So that's their assignment agreement. And then the development team shall accomplish the inventory of third-party contents and the metadata form as they develop the manuscript. Okay, we need inventory of third-party contents if we have copyrighted materials. If we use copyrighted materials, so we need to have this inventory. But if we don't use any copyrighted material, then there's no need for us to accomplish the third-party contents. And what is this metadata? This metadata form is a form telling us the description of the manuscript we're doing or the learning resource that we are developing. So the metadata form is available in your LRMS. So dun tayo maghingi ng assistance sa LRMS or the LR managers will provide this one to the development teams. Yung metadata form. Lahat ng forms na binanggit ko po shall be provided by the Learning Resource Management section managers. Then the development of artwork shall be as follows. Ito naman yung sa illustrations. So the writer shall present the content for illustration. He or she shall accomplish the illustration summary and approval form. Then the illustrator shall present the preliminary or the rough sketches to the writer for comments and suggestions. And then the illustrator shall revise the sketches according to the comments and suggestions. The writer shall approve and sign the approved sketches. And then the illustrator shall ink and color approved sketches. Then the illustrator shall submit the final artwork to the writer. Then the final artwork must be in digital format and must be in accordance with the standards. Note, illustrations, summary, and approval sheet shall be signed both by the writer and illustrator. Why we need this one? So that at the end, there is no conflict between the illustrator and the writer. Kasi kadalasan po magiging issue natin na paulit-ulit na ginawa ni illustrator yung illustration kasi si writer paiba-iba ng kanyang isip. So para to avoid such conflict, so we really need to fill out this summary, itong illustration summary and approval sheet. And of course, this will be signed both the writer and the illustrator. So upon completion of the first draft of the manuscript, so ito po ito na yung phase natin na tapos na yung manuscript, complete na ang illustrations. So yan ang tinawag natin na first draft. So content and language editor shall do an initial review of the manuscript. So dito na po papasok si editors. Magdo na siya ng language and content na kanyang evaluation. So the internal review will ensure that the materials are free from content, language, layout and format errors, plagiarism, and copyright infringement, as well as compliant to the LR standards. So that's the purpose of having the internal review. The development teams shall discuss among themselves if the comments and recommendations done during the internal review of the manuscript are valid or not. So the writer shall then revise the draft manuscript based on the internal review findings. So as you see po, paulit-ulit yung gawain natin. So we are going to write and then we do the evaluation and then revise. So wag po kayong maano dyan That's very normal po that we need to evaluate and then we need to revise the materials. So, the learning area supervisor, so ito po yung role ng mga learning area supervisor as team leaders, shall conduct conformance review, seeing to it that all the findings and recommendations on content and language are considered or incorporated in the revised LRs. So ito na yung role, papasok po si Learning Resource Supervisor po, Learning Area Supervisor. Dito na po siya papasok during sa conformance review. Meaning to say, after po ma-revise, after the internal review, so may revised manuscript na, so it will be read or it will be evaluated by the learning area supervisor as to looking into the content and the language na results of the internal review. Kung na-follow ba, na-incorporate ba ng writers or ng development team as a whole. So after that process, once all necessary revisions based on the internal review have been incorporated, the development team, through the learning area supervisor, shall submit the manuscript to the CID-LRMS. So, ano naman ngayon ang gagawin ni CID-LRMS? The CID-LRMS shall conduct review of the manuscript as to compliance to LR standards. Kasi tapos na yun si content and si language. So, titingnan na ngayon ni CID-LRMS kung compliant ba sa LR standards. And then, once all the necessary revisions have been incorporated, the CID-LRMS shall then forward it to the quality assurance team. So, who is this quality assurance team? Who will handle this one? So, this is now the work of the regional office. So, the CLMD-LRMS shall form QA teams. So, di ba, i-submit na yung material. So, ito na yung work ng CLMD-LRMS. So, consisting of the learning resource evaluators who will evaluate LRs by learning area, key stage, and or grade level as to content, language, and layout. Dito na rin papasok po ang mga education program supervisors ng regional office because same thing na ginawa ng division learning area supervisor, they conduct internal conformance review. After internal review, sila din po ganun din ang gagawin ni learning area supervisor sa regional office. They will also conducting conformance review or review of the revised manuscripts. So, quality assurance of the manuscript shall follow the guidelines and the evaluation of DPED-developed learning resources, or what we call the DDLR, prescribed by the DLR, and shall focus on the following criteria. To the development teams, please be aware that the manuscript or the material that you will be developing will be evaluated according to content. So, when we say content, napaloob doon ang intellectual property rights compliance, the learning competencies, the instructional design and organization, the instructional quality, and the assessment. And then readability of the material. Then language. The second area to be to look into is the language. So coherence and clarity of thought, grammar and syntax, spelling and punctuation, consistency and style. And then for the design and layout, so we will be looking into the physical attributes of the material, the design and layout itself, the typographical organization, the visuals. Okay, so those are the factors to be considered in doing or in developing a certain material because those are also the factors to be used in the quality assurance. So later po, in the later part of our discussion, I will be showing to you the evaluation tools. Others are familiar with this already, but others we need to parang refresher course for those who already familiar with our QA tools. So the LR with marginal notes, again, this is now the work of the learning resource evaluators in the region. So the LR with marginal notes as well as the summary of findings from the quality assurance team shall be given to the development team for validation and implementation. The revised LR, together with the summary of findings, shall be submitted to the quality assurance team for review. The review of the revised LR shall ensure that the comments and suggestions made in the first evaluation are completely and accurately implemented and to check that the LR fully complied to the standards and requirements. So this is now the work of the learning area supervisor in the regional office to do the review of the revised or what we call the conformance review. Once the LR satisfactorily meets the standards and requirements, it shall then be subjected to field testing prior to finalization. So this activity shall be conducted to gather feedback from the target users on the usability and suitability of the LR following the procedure and tool prescribed by the BLR. Okay, so field testing shall be conducted by the development team. So field tested manuscript shall be revised accordingly. Now, our question is, are we going really to have this field testing? So our answer to this, okay, in ideal setting po, we need to conduct field testing. Okay, as we have in the guidelines. But since of our, considering our situation right now, it's somewhat impossible to do the field testing. So, like what the alternative delivery mode modules, nung wala na, parang kina-cancel na nila yung field testing. So, we are going to follow that scheme. We are not going to have the field testing. Ganun na lang because of our situation. So, again po, so do not worry about this field testing. I-ano natin ito, parang skip natin ang process na to. But of course, hindi po na-sacrifice ang quality of the materials. Okay?
Ma'am Ann, excuse me po.
Opo.
Can you hear me, Ma'am Ann?
Yes po, Sir June.
Okay. Ma'am
Yes,
Ann,
Sir
there's a
June.
request from our, yes, ma'am. There is a request from our viewers po na kung pwede po daw ma'am medyo bagalan lang ma'am po ng kaunti kasi medyo po mabilis daw po kayo. Nagkakaroon kasi sila ng signal ano
okay.
din po sa kanilang ano, so kailangan lang hinahabol na binabasa din po nila yung ating pinipresenta kaya po medyo ano lang daw po
Okay.
minor. Okay po. Sige po,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you for that, Sir June. Okay. So this is still part of the quality assurance process. So the finalized LR shall be subjected to final review or conformance checking prior to reproduction and utilization to ensure that the results of the field testing, okay, again po, we are not going to do the field testing. So completely and accurately implemented. So this also ensures that the LR fully complies to standards and requirements. So if the LR is compliant to all the standards and requirements, the development, quality assurance, and management teams shall affix their initials in all pages of the LR, and that is what we call the signed off prior to mass production and distribution. So this is now the responsibility of the writers, of the learning area supervisors, because you are the one affixing your signatures in our manuscript. Meaning to say, in each page of the manuscript is a signed off natin, signifying po or indicating that the material is ready to print, ready to use, ready to be uploaded in our LMS. So kaya we need to have a signed off copy po. So then, ang kaakibat na responsibility is that the material is, diba, after the tedious process of QA also, the material is free from any error, just like content error, grammar error, lahat po ng error na makita natin, dapat free na ang material na yon. At the same time, free from any copyright infringement or any copyright issues po. Yun po ang meaning sa signed off copy. Alright? So, after the process po, as you see the process, we will go back in the process. So we identify our needs, and this is now our needs. This is to come up with materials to be uploaded in our LMS, and those materials are what we call the activity sheets, the lesson exemplars. Then after that one, we go into organization of the development teams, the design and development. And in the design and development, always remember that there is what we call internal review or yung tinawag nating in-house evaluation. Then after which, doon po ipapasa natin for quality assurance in the regional office. Then after that one, So tapos na yung process eh. So now we need to know our general specifications for the learning resources. So ano ba talaga yung general specs ng ating learning resources? Okay? So first po is what we call the structure and sequence. So LR is easy to understand. So that would be ano talaga, as writers, as members of the development teams, we have to take note po that the LR that we are going to develop must be easy to understand by our target learners. Then lessons shall be arranged from simple to complex. Visuals and graphic organizers shall be available to facilitate better understanding of the lesson. Then size of the letters and sentences shall be appropriate to the target learners. So this item number 4 po, this is what we call the technical specifications. So more on this po sa technical specifications of our LR, information of this technical specs can be taken from the LRMS in your respective SDOs. And then presentation shall be engaging and interesting. Then this is now the work of our learning area supervisors to ensure that the material is really engaging and interesting to our target learners. And then kindergarten materials. So ito po, mga kinder EPS po, mga ka-kinder, mga kasamahan ko po sa kinder. Ito po yung materials dapat sa atin. Be engaging, activity-based, and challenge.
Ayan, I think nagkakaroon po ng problema na sa signal si Ma'am Annalisa. Ano po, balikan lamang po natin siya sa ilang sandali while she is fixing her connection po or connectivity po sa ating internet. Ayan po. So muli po, bago po ang lahat ay nawa po ay nakasunod po kayo sa ginagawang orientation na ginagawa ng ating LRMS manager. Gayon pa man po kung yung sa mga first part po ay medyo mabilis o di kaya nagkakaroon po ng paglo-loading dyan sa inyong mga devices. Ito naman po ang aming webinar na ito ay automatic din po na mare-record po pagkatapos ng session. Kaya po maaari nyo din pong balikan. Ano po? So sa punto pong ito, muli nagpapasalamat po muna kami sa lahat ng participants po sa webinar na ito. Ulitin ko lamang po, kasama po namin ngayon ay ang ating mga writers, content editors natin, kasama din po ang layout artists, ang illustrators, ganun din po yung ating ICT experts at saka po yung mga education program supervisor ng 11 divisions na kasama po namin sa hapong ito. Allow me to read them again from the Division of Davao City, Division of Davao de Oro, Division of Davao del Norte, Division of Davao del Sur, Division of Davao Occidental, Division of Davao Oriental, Island Garden City of Samal Division, Digo City Division, Panabo City Division, Tagum City Division, and Mati City Division. Ayan po. Thank you so much po sa inyong pagsali sa webinar po na ito. At I think sa kabuuan po meron kaming mahigit na 1,000 at 700 viewers po sa pagkakataong ito. At maraming salamat po. So sa punto pong ito muna, para po makasunod din kayo sa mga updates and information po sa ating ginagawang mga trainings or webinars natin o di kaya doon sa information sa ating learning management system. Ganon din po sa ating LMS at saka sa ating LRMS. Please po, paki-subscribe nyo po yung aming mga official social media accounts sa FB page po natin. Paki-flash po, controller or director namin. Ayan po, yan po ang ating YouTube channel. Allow me to read, https://bit.ly/ytclmd-deped-roxi. Ayan po. And of course, sa atin namang Facebook page, ayan po ang ating FB page ng CLMD, fb.com/clmd-deped-roxi. Ayan po. So sa aming controller po, wala pa po ba si Ma'am Annaliza? I think ayan po. Kasi kanina po bago tayo nag-air ay medyo makulimlim na po sa kanilang lugar. Kaya atin lamang pong antayin sa ilang sandali. Basahin lamang po muna natin kung yung mga comments. Ayan. So far wala pa naman, hindi pa naman sila ayan. Okay, merong dito, merong suggestion. I've read some of the suggestion from our viewers na patungkol po sa recorded presentation ng webinar na ito. Yes po, tulad nga po ng aking nasabi kanina, automatic po ito na ma-record sa aming mga official social media accounts at saka po ay mababalik at marireview nyo rin po. Pwede nyo pong reviewin ulit. Ayan. Batiin ko lamang po muli ang ating Regional Education Program Supervisors na in charge po ng ating mga learning areas. For science po, we have Dr. Maria Liza Berandoy. Good afternoon po, ma'am. Para po sa ating English naman at saka sa ating SPJ, we have Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo. Sir Manny, good afternoon. Ingat po kayo. And of course, sa ating namang Filipino, we have Dr. Mary Jane M. Mejorada. Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon. And of course, sa ating mathematics, si Dr. Renato N. Pakpakin. Good afternoon po, Sir Rene. Para naman po sa MAPE, sa SPA, SPS, tsaka po SPED, binabati din po namin ang pinakamaganda na si Ma'am Jesselyn B. de la Cuesta. Ayan. Ang kasabihan nga namin sa aming grupo, kasi MAPE din po ako, basta MAPE, grabe. Ayan po. And of course, binabati din po namin ang in charge sa ating Madrasa Education and of course sa Aralpan, si Dr. Danilo Ardohino. Good afternoon po, sir. Para naman po sa ating ESP and SPFL, Dr. Maria Cielo Estrada. Good afternoon, ma'am. For Mother Tongue and Multigrade, si Dr. George N. Wong. Hi, sir. Good afternoon po. For EPP, TLE, and TVL, tsaka ang ICT in charge din po in charge ng ating curriculum sa ICT, si Dr. Fidelina O. Huevos. And of course, para naman po sa ating ALS, si Dr. Maricel N. S. Langgahit. And for kindergarten, of course, ang ating LRMS manager na si Ma'am Annalisa C. Almazan. Ayan po, nakabalik na po si Ma'am Ann. Maaari na po nating pwedeng makita muli. Ayan, hello ma'am!
Hi!
Ayun,
there's a problem sorry really, there's a problem technical problem po. Parang nawala yung
okay.
Yeah.
No problem, ma'am. Ayan po. Ganon po
so
talaga.
sorry.
Basta live na live po tayo. Ito po yung senyales, ma'am. Ito po yung senyales na ang Pilipinas po talaga ay dapat na magtulong-tulong para mas lalong ma-improve ang ating mga technical aspects, lalong-lalo na sa connection ng ating internet. Ano po? So, panawagan namin sa lahat ng nanonood sa atin ngayon, sa mga local government units, maaari nyo pong tulungan ang bawat sangay nang sa gayon magkaroon po ng maayos at malinaw na signal, lalong-lalo na po sa pagdi-deliver natin ng ating online learning. Ayan po. So, Ma'am Ann, okay na po ba?
Okay. So, we will continue. I'm sorry really. Okay. So, like what I said po, the kindergarten materials shall be engaging, then activity-based and challenging. At the end po, kindergarten materials o yung visuals shall be in true color. So meaning to say, hindi tayo gagamit ng black and white, yung totoo talagang color. For example, ng isang mangga, kapag mangga yon, totoong color ng mangga, diba? So materials for kindergarten to grade 3 shall consider the I do, we do, then you do procedure. Okay, with the help of a learning facilitator. Diba, yung sabi natin explicit teaching tayo kapag K to 3. So for the content, so it shall use pedagogical approaches that are constructivist, inquiry-based, reflective, collaborative, and integrative. Then content shall be logically arranged from simple to complex. Then it shall consider learners' context, situations, individual needs, and capabilities. It shall provide activities that promote the development of higher cognitive skills, diba, such as critical thinking, creative thinking, and decision making. Another thing is, it shall be written in real-life context, interactive to arouse and sustain interest and motivation of a learner. So yung pinoproject natin or ini-aim natin po that we can come up really with an interactive lesson exemplars and interactive activity sheets. Then it shall provide activities that develop, that's one, the basic science processes, yung activities that will call for observing, asking questions, measuring, classifying, inferring, then finding patterns, predicting, communicating. Yeah, those are the basic science processes. And we also have the integrated skills, formulating hypotheses, fair testing, identifying variables, controlling variables, collecting and organizing data, interpreting data, and making conclusions. Ayan. So for the content naman, of course, all contents of our manuscript should adhere to the social content guidelines. So later alamin natin what is that social content guidelines. Then content shall develop core values such as makajos, makatao, makakalikasan, at makabansa. Then content shall provide activities to unlock difficult and or new concepts, then activate prior knowledge to discover and learn new lessons. Content and activities shall be learner-centered and shall promote 21st century skills. Then content and activities shall be congruent to the learning competency. Then sufficient examples, activities, and easy to understand directions are provided to facilitate independent learning. Okay? So parang dun po ang mga considerations natin para sa paggawa natin ng materials. Meaning, as to content po, yan po ang isa-isip natin as writers. Yun dapat ang content na meron ang materials natin. Then, content shall be learner-centered, inclusive, and developmentally appropriate. So meaning to say, kung titingnan, ano talaga, we always go back to who will be our target users of the material, who will be our target learners, para po ma-achieve natin yung learner-centered, inclusive, and yung pinaka-importante, yung developmentally appropriate. Then content shall be in smaller unit, self-instructional, and self-paced. Caution, warning, reminders shall be provided to ensure safety of the learner while doing activities. So usually po ang ano dito, involved dito yung sa science kapag may mga ano sila experiment, and even yung EPP, TLE, yung maggawa po ng mga performance output. So kailangan po mayroon tayong caution na ilagay or mga warning or safety tips sa material. And then content shall provide strategies and activities to self-monitor progress such as criterion reference tests. Then content shall be flexible and friendly. Then content shall provide a balanced use of literature and informational text or fictional to non-fictional text. So that is K to 5. So kapag kindergarten and grade 5 writers tayo or development teams, 50-50 dapat. So 50% yung parang literature, 50% yung informational na text. For grade 6 to 12, that's already 55 to 70. So parang more on informational text na kasi kapag higher grades. So kapag submitting informational text, For grades K to 5, they are defined as biographies and autobiographies. Then books about history, social studies, science and the arts, technical texts, including directions, forms, and information displayed in graphs, charts, or maps, and even digital sources on a range of topics. So ito yung parang source natin kapag gusto natin informational text ang parang laman ng ating material. So please take note of that. For grade 6 to 12, ang tinawag nating informational text sa kanila includes subgenres of exposition, argument, and functional text in the form of personal essays, speeches, opinion pieces, essays about art or literature, then biographies, memoirs, journalism, and historical, scientific, technical, or economic accounts, including digital sources. So, written for a broad audience. Ito po yung difference ng informational text between K to 5 and 6 to 12. So, yan po. Kung assign ka po ng 6 to 12, so you're more into exposition, arguments. Yun po ang mga materials na ilagay natin sa ating manuscript. Okay, linkages between and among past and present lessons shall be evident to make lessons easy to understand. Diba? Kasi dapat yung ma-establish natin yung connectivity, yung connection ng previous lesson to the present lesson. Then sufficient repetition through examples, illustrations, questions, and summaries shall be provided to enhance understanding of concepts. Then, content, language, and the materials shall be appropriate to the reading level of the learners. Yan. The difficulty of the material shall match the ability of the learners, and the material shall fit the objectives. Ayan po. So, of course, alam natin, di ba, na kung sino yung target learners natin, yun din ang difficulty level na makitaan sa material. Then, may note tayo sa content because we're really, syempre naman, di ba, yung sa pag-develop ng materials, the meat of the material is really the content. So, the content po must be all original. Yun po ang, pagsikapan natin na lahat po ng content ay original. Why? So that, na tayo, parang free na tayo from any issues, from any copyright issues, di ba? So, kaya natin yan. Kaya yan gawin ng mga development teams. Okay? So, for language po, dito na po tayo sa language. Di ba? Content na yon. So, part ng manuscript natin is ano yung language ng manuscript. Okay, material shall use everyday language of the learner. So, we have to emphasize this one. Ano yung everyday language of the learner? Since po, ang lang natin, for K to 3 po, K to 3, ito take note po, kindergarten to grade 3, our language po of the material would be yung mother tongue natin. So, ang recognize natin, di ba, yung Binisaya. So, yung Binisaya po, or sinubuan ng Binisaya, or the Binisaya that we have, so yun po ang language ng ating materials. Except lang po, of course, except ng English, at saka yung Filipino. Then may tayo parang i-preempt na lang natin. What if we want to contextualize that one pa sa language talaga or dialect ng ating learners dun sa kanilang context. Meaning to say, baka may IP tayo, tapos may mga learners tayo na dili sila magbinisaya, lahi po ang ilahang dialect, then that would be the option po of the SBOs. But in our case, since we are developing mother manuscript, kasi yung materials natin, ilagay natin sa LMS. So, kasi mother manuscript yun po. So, for K to 3, Binisaya muna tayo. Itapusin muna natin ang Binisaya bago tayo magkaroon ng contextualization or translation to the different dialects. So, allowed naman din yan. Pero for the meantime po, na i-upload natin sa LMS yung mother manuscript muna na Binisaya for K to 3. And all the rest po, the grades 4 to grade 12 will follow na the required medium of instruction sa kanilang materials. Okay? Then the language also shall use appropriate language and vocabulary. So of course, the material shall use appropriate language and vocabulary. Alam natin yan po, di ba? Yung vocabulary na appropriate for a grade 3 learner, vocabulary that is appropriate for a grade 12 learner. So the length of the sentences, the paragraphs shall be age appropriate. Okay? Shall be age appropriate. So sa amin kasi sa kindergarten, ano lang yan pag even one word can be one, or ilagay natin one sentence can be a story to us na. Then yung one sentence na yan, three words lang yan. That could be a story to us already. So that is kasi that's an age appropriate to us. And to the other grade levels po, so take note that the length of your sentences and the paragraphs that you will be developing shall be really age appropriate. Along with the choose of your language and vocabulary. So dito tayo mag-usap about illustrations. So, di ba, yung mga sa illustrations natin, I would like, of course, the LRMS managers and personnel in the division offices can help you really about these illustrations. Okay? So, illustrations should adhere to the social content guidelines. Same with our content, na dapat mag-adhere talaga tayo with the social content guidelines. So, Filipino characters, if applicable, shall be the subject of illustration. People, animals, places, and objects shall be appropriate to the age, grade level, and context of the learners. Then, illustration shall clarify or enhance concepts. So, bear in mind po na dapat ma-clarify niya kung may illustration tayo, edi ma-enhance niya ang concept. Then, illustrations and visuals shall be gender and culture sensitive. Okay po? To the illustrators at layout artists, of course, I believe na may mga trainings na yan din sila. Napuno na yan ng training sa kanilang SDOs. So, alam na nila yung mga, dito, yung mga pinagsasabi ko. Okay, alam niyo na po ang idea na to. So, illustrations and visuals shall be attractive and appealing. So, illustrations and visuals shall sustain consistency of style, color, size, and angle throughout the manuscript. Pag sabihin natin consistency of style, alam niyo na yan, di ba? Meaning to say, hindi pwede na paiba-iba ang style, or for example, nag-illustrate ka dito, sa isang page, mayroon kang illustration. Tapos sa isang page, the same page, mayroon ka namang visual na nilagay, tapos illustration na naman. So, may meaning to say, iba yung style, hindi consistent ang style. So, kapag illustration, on the following page, pag images ka, so you go for visuals doon. Then, illustration shall be correct, original, realistic, simple, clear, and recognizable. So, yung highlight natin dito yung original. Siyempre, if you draw that one, so that is your original creation. Diba? So, that would be, take note kapag illustrator ka, you have to produce an original illustration. Then, illustrations and visuals shall be properly labeled and captioned. Then, illustrations shall have appropriate and complete details such as color. Again, for K-3, illustrations of people, animals, places, and objects shall be complete. Ano pong ibig sabihin dyan? Ano yung shall be complete? Meaning to say, hindi natin pwede putulin. Yung parang manananggal na ang ating yung tao na i-illustrate. So most likely, pag hindi siya natabunan ng kahit ng table ba perhaps, so dapat buo talaga yung makita ng bata. Kasi remember, K-3 pa sila, so yung concept nila about something must be completely presented to them. Then illustrations and visuals shall be original. Then permit to use copyrighted illustrations and visuals shall be secured before using it. So, mayroon naman tayong pro forma on asking permission to copy. Pero provided po na kapag nag-ask tayo ng permission to copy a certain illustration or yung pwede din certain content, make sure na napadala tayo ng permission, make sure po na may reply sa atin. Hawak natin yung written permission from the copyright owner. Kasi yun ang panghawakan natin para wala tayong problem sa copyright. Okay? And then illustrations shall not be a modification of an illustration from other source. So take note of that. Not be a modification of an illustration from other source. The use of photocopied, scanned, published illustrations, screen-captured illustrations are prohibited. Flatbed scanner shall be used for manually drawn illustration. So manually drawn illustration shall be scanned in 300 to 600 dpi in actual size to capture all the details of the illustration and to produce quality scan. Illustration shall be framed only when necessary. Thinner lines shall be used for the frames than that of the illustrations. So local pictures and artworks shall be validated and approved by the ethnic community. So kapag mayroon tayong mga local pictures and artworks po, dapat po na approve muna ng ating mga elders kung talagang kailangan gamitin natin sa material. So paano natin malaman na approve yan? Mayroon na namang proforma dapat dyan. Yung parang syempre parang asking them for a validation or conformance. Then texts that are superimposed in the illustration shall be spelled out. Then call-outs shall be used to emphasize important parts of the illustration. Okay? So, content, tapos that's the general structure of our LRs as to content, as to language, and as to illustrations, or kasali na doon as to layout, design and layout. So this time, we will talk about the social content guidelines. Ito yung pinabalik-balik natin kanina na ano ba yung social content guidelines, why we need that our content and our illustrations and our language, the use of our must be, must adhere to this social content guidelines. So social content refers to themes or topics for which DepEd prescribes certain guidelines when these themes or topics are included or referred to in lessons in the learning resources. So among the themes or topics are those on the Filipino learner and teacher, the Filipino nation, the Philippine society, citizenship, and social responsibility, then individuals and social identities, social institutions, gender, media, that's technology and communication, health and safety, and environment. Yan. So yun ang social content guidelines. To better understand that, so we have these themes or topics. There are, how many we have? We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So we have 9. So we have yun ang topics na binanggit natin kanina. Again, this is all about the Filipino learner, the Filipino nation, and the Philippine society, the citizenship and social responsibility, individuals and social identities. We have the social institution, gender, media technology and communication, health and safety, and then environment. Yan. So why we need to have or adhere social content guidelines? This is to ensure that learning resources veer away from social stereotypes and help develop in learners desirable values on nationalism, justice, moral uprightness, inclusivity, understanding, and compassion. Okay? So that is why through this one, there is a concrete expression of such values. The DepEd's core values are realized. So what are our core values? Yung sabi kanina na maka-Diyos, makatao, makakalikasan, makabansa. So this is some examples po of the things that we need to we need to be careful in developing our material. So as writer, as members of the development teams, we need to depict the ethnic, the physical, mental, religious, then cultural, and socioeconomic diversity of individuals and their circumstances in society, and promote sensitivity to and respect for the dignity and equal treatment. So that is what we call the individuals and social identities. Then we're going to include foreign products and values only as needed and appropriate to the competencies being covered. So meaning to say, yung sabi natin, the Filipino nation and the Philippine society. So yung unahin muna natin na maging sample ang products natin unless po nandun sa competency natin na kailangan din natin mag-mention ng mga foreign products. Okay, when this included, yung foreign products po, okay, these foreign practices must be featured in ways that do not prejudice Philippine products, practices, and values. So, meaning to say, hindi na magka-create ng comparison na, ay, mas maganda ang sa foreign kaysa atin. Okay? So, dapat i-present natin yan na parang walang bias na mangyari. Okay? Hindi ba ka-create ng comparison sa concept ng bata. So another thing is direct expression of Philippine culture technologies, then invention, games, dances, songs, then literature, our dress, our food, festivals, celebrations, practices, the costumes, and others guided by the protocols for culture sensitivity. Okay? So, pwede natin na yan ang maging feature ng ating content. Yung mga, mga invention, mga games na sinabi natin dyan. So, again, kapag ganun po ang content natin, ay naka-adhere tayo sa theme na the Filipino nation and Philippine society. Then, we are going also to promote respect for the rights of the, yung rights of the mga persons, diba? Yung iba-iba na rights. We have, of course, yung rights ng mga senior citizen, rights ng mga physically challenged, rights ng mga pregnant women, diba? Yung ganun. So, part yan ng having the theme of citizenship and social responsibility. So, at least ma-promote natin yan sa mga bata. And then, dyan sa content natin. So, by doing that, we are trying to develop the idea of social responsibility. Then promote in learners a positive attitude towards persons with disability, yung mga PWD. So in all aspects of life, ano yung dapat gagawin natin? We're going to highlight the PWD's abilities, not their impairment. So instead of portraying their disabilities, we are going to focus on their strengths and their triumphs in their day-to-day life, such as their educational achievements and professional accomplishments. So again, in that way, we are trying to address the citizenship and the social responsibility. Then we have also here, may sample tayo na isang aralin ng isang aklat. Okay? Parang do not use the impairment of PWDs in funny stories or in jokes. So take note of that po. Then do not use them as subjects of caricature. Then do not label them as beggars or as liabilities to society. So it's a big no-no po na parang pagtatawanan natin yung mga PWDs. Nung sa material na yan, parang may reflection na ganun sa material. Then feature role models who come from different places, historical periods, socio-cultural contexts, genders, abilities, and ages. So they must be of exceptional and acknowledged accomplishment or virtue regardless of their ethnic, cultural, political origin, or affiliation. So, katong mga natin, yung parang yung proud tayo na dapat ma-propagandize ang kanilang gawain, so we can use them as our role models as part of the content of our material. Then avoid views or opinions that highlight stereotypes and encourage cultural, moral, and social insensitivities. So against particular social classes, gender groups, political affiliations, cultural or religious groups. So meaning to say, this part here, parang we try to adhere to being yung individuality, yung individualism, yung social identities na gano'n. Dapat ma-highlight natin or ma-encourage natin yung mga bagay na ganito, yung sa cultural, moral, and social. So, avoid natin yung avoid natin yung nagbigay tayo ng opinions na magkaroon ng conflict with this idea also. Then, ito yung dapat natin din iwasan kasi, di ba, dapat gender sensitive ang material. So, we're going to avoid sexist language. So, avoid na yan. Alam natin yan, di ba? So, yung bias, yung prejudice, stereotyping of various genders in the depiction of behaviors, then home and family roles, professions, occupations, and contributions to society. So again, that is all about individuals and social identities. So avoid talaga yung sexist language, yung bias sa men and women. So we have here, show respect for different family patterns. Okay, di ba? May family patterns po na nuclear, extended, or with a single parent, or with two parents. So we have to respect that. Then avoid using commercial brand names and corporate logos. So sa mga illustrations natin, so wag nating gayahin ang mga ganon. So avoid ng mga commercial brand. Okay? Yung mga logos din. So gawa na lang tayo ng sarili nating logo or commercial brand. Then avoid differentiating either explicitly or implicitly between the capability of males and females. So, di ba? Pag teacher, automatic babae. But in here, at least nakita natin na si teacher is lalaki. Oh, so that way, parang we avoid na parang hindi na tayo gender bias on that case as to profession. Then portray gender and sexual diversity in a respectful manner using a rights-based approach. Okay? So never depict professions as being preferred by a certain gender. So example natin, farming only for males and nursing only for females. So never do that. Sa material po, dapat gender free from bias talaga siya. Hindi siya bias na material. Then for health and safety natin, we're going to promote healthy and safety standards and precautions. Diba? For our environment, we're going to encourage humane treatment and respect for all life forms. Okay. So, we satisfy the 9 themes. So, yun na po mga bagay. By the way, if you wish really to have, kasi I know that we conducted LR orientations in the SDOs, but if you really wish as development teams, you wish to have an in-depth orientation about this one, lalo yung mga technical specifications, and more about the social content or the LR standards as a whole, pwede po tayo mag-request sa mga SDO natin to have that one through our Learning Resource Management section. Okay? So, next thing na pag-usapan natin in developing LRs po is the copyright management. Ayan. So, last week, we had our webinar on copyright last Thursday and Friday. This is given to us by the Central Office ng Legal Office, ng Central Office, and the Bureau of Learning Resources. So sa copyright management po, yung simple lang natin yung understanding natin about this. So sa phase 1, that is all about designing. Sa designing po, di ba, yung sa phase pa ng design and development, it is where you decide what contents to be included in your LRs, what are the illustrations to be included in the LRs or to your manuscript ang tawag natin dyan, di ba? So the development team shall be oriented on intellectual property, meaning to say proper use of attribution, referencing, and acknowledgement, and on accomplishing the inventory of third-party contents. So pa-help tayo nito, mga LR managers, pa-help tayo dito, ang mga development teams, i-help natin sila when it comes to this. Yung proper use of attribution and referencing. The last part of the presentation is all about referencing. So, medyo may quick guide tayo on how to do the source noting, how to reflect our bibliographies, our references. So, quick guide natin yon as development teams. Then, writers and illustrators shall accomplish the writers or artwork assignment agreement. So, paulit-ulit ito po nare-remind sa atin. And please, we would like to ask our learning area supervisors as team leaders to really secure a copy of this from the LRMS. Dapat po, bago talaga sila gumawa ng material, ay may pinipirmahan na ang bawat isa sa kanila. Now, question is, how are we going to do this? Kasi most of us cannot meet physically. So we can have lang for the meantime, we can have electronic signature, yung parang nag-sign kayo doon, na parang naka-image yung ninyo, signature niyo para lang to have really this agreement. Okay? So next phase natin is the development. So learning resource referencing guide. So ito yung shall be used to reference third-party contents. So inventory of third-party contents shall be used to list down details of third-party contents. So the development team shall secure permission to use third-party contents from the copyright owners. Permission to be requested includes giving rights to distribute in printed and digital forms and to convert into other formats the copyrighted work requested. So, pro forma communication seeking permission to copy may be used in seeking permission from the copyright owners. So, may pro forma na tayo dito. Kunin na lang natin from the LRMS. Okay? So, bakit po kailangan ma-emphasize? Ito po yung natin na if hindi talaga maiwasan na maggamit tayo ng copyrighted materials, make sure po na hiningi natin na right ay right po na gawin siyang digital form kasi nga nasa LMS tayo, i-convert siya into other formats. Yun po, hindi lang po na for printing. So dapat mayroon talaga, maklaro talaga doon, ma'am. Explicit siya doon, ma-state siya sa ating communication. So if photos are to be used, permission from the photo subjects shall also be secured. So use photo waiver. So we call this one as the model release. For example, mayroon talaga kayong photo, tapos yung photo subject, parang model mo doon. So dapat yung pinipicturan mo na tao ay pwede mo, hingan mo siya ng parang waiver niya na allowing us or allowing the development team to utilize sa iyang photo into different formats also. Then writers shall limit the use of third-party contents. So ito na yung sinabi natin a while back na if possible, we're going to have that all our content must be original para maiwasan natin yung third-party contents. Then writers shall certify that works included in the manuscript are original using the copyright originality form. For example, kayo ang writer, kayo na ang gumawa ng story, di ba? You make a story. Kasi nga dapat original. So you are going to accomplish the copyright originality form. Kasi sa'yo na yun. That is a copyrighted material na. Sa'yo na. So i-accomplish mo yung copyright originality form. So writers shall accomplish the list of references, the bibliography following the recommended entry of the materials. So the issue that we have here is that, ma'am, what if original lahat? So wala na kaming references. Wala na tayong ilagay dun sa references na part, for example. The answer is no, because diba, during the development phase, of course, meron kang mga readings na ginawa, diba? Tapos you base the material po dun sa most essential learning competencies, so that would be your reference. Okay? Kahit original lahat yon, meron pa ring reference na ginamit. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na nire-reflect mo dun si reference, kumopya ka na dun, di ba? Hindi naman. So, you use that one lang as your readings. Okay? Then, writers shall use LR referencing guide if the recommended entry is not present. So, yung LR referencing guide natin, mamaya po may quick presentation about it. Next is the quality assurance. So, proper use of LR referencing guide shall be ensured. Permission to use copyright materials shall be available. Okay? Inventory of third-party contents shall be verified. Then plagiarism check shall be done. The regional office is planning to buy the plagiarism check. So, nakakuha na kami ng suggestion from the BLR. So, pag ko yan kay Sir Pax, i-present ko yan kay Sir Pax, and of course to CLMD chief about that checker. Then, ang budget, of course, kasi malaki ang budget. Then, style guide natin. So, ano yung style guide ng pagsulat? Okay? The style guide, this is all about parang uniformity natin. So, DepEd Style Guide is a set of guidelines and standards for writing, organizing, and designing any kind of learning resources for publication. So, to style learning resources written in English, the following references shall be used. So, for English po na medium, yung medium po natin na yung science, kasi English ang medium, yung math, of course, and the English itself, and the rest of the learning areas na gumamit po ng English as medium po. So, for basic style concerns, the latest edition of the Chicago Manual of Style, or the CMOS, by the University of Chicago Press. Yan po ang gamitin natin. For grammar and style concerns, the latest edition of Elements of Style by William Strunk Jr. and A.B. White. For spelling and word division, latest edition of Merriam-Webster International Dictionary of the English Language, the unabridged. And for in-text citations and reference lists, 6th edition of the 16th edition of the Chicago Manual of Style. Di ba yung in-text citations dito, yung tinutukoy na source noting? To style learning resources written in Filipino, kasi dalawa yon. Okay, nung habang gumagawa kami sa ADM materials, lalo naming na-realize, ako personally na-realize ko, ang hirap talaga ng grammar sa Filipino. Ayan. So, kaya po, to style learning resources written in Filipino, and most of our learning resources kasi ang medium ay Filipino. So, the grammar rules and standards set by the Komisyon sa Wikang Filipino, yung KWF, as directed by Kautosang Pangkagawaran No. 34, Series of 2013, or yung Ortografiyang Pambansa, and Komisyon sa Wikang Filipino Manual sa Masinop na Pagsulat 2014, and the orthography for mother tongue shall be used. Okay? Ayan po. So kung English, ganon, yung si Chicago Manual of Style, si Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Ito naman sa Filipino po, dun tayo solely for the Komisyon sa Wikang Filipino na standards nila. And your EPS in Filipino can help us a lot about this. So for referencing, we will follow the Chicago Manual of Styles. Ito yung sabi ko na quick guide. So, things to remember in CMOS. Yung source noting, ito po. Ito yung source noting. So, for better, for in-depth understanding about this, kasi dapat din mag-study tayo, self-study tayo nito. This is what we call the learning na material. So, we will give this one to the development team. Gagawa tayo ng Google Drive. Lahat ng pinag-usapan natin dito po, we will place in the Google Drive and we will give that to the regional EPS para din sila na din ang mag-send ng link sa inyong SBOs through also with the EPS in the SBOs. So again, lahat po ng pinag-usapan natin and even yung mga forms na lang din ilagay natin sa Google Drive para isang kuha na lang. Para hindi na para organize yung files natin. Okay? So, this is the source note should be seen at the end of the article or image that were borrowed. Kapag borrow po, saan kinuha po siya, so dapat naka-reflect ang kanyang source note or saan siya galing. we can, yung public domains, yung mga public domains po na mga sites, so pwede tayong magkuha doon kasi public domains, but make sure lang talaga na na-attribute natin properly. Pero again and again, pwede babalik talaga tayo sa idea na original. Please lang, yung natin, we will really make it sure na kaya natin gawin itong original. And we believe na kaya naman talaga ng mga writers to make their original work and to the illustrators to make original work. Yan. So, referencing style natin and format. So, we have the author, title of work, and fact of publication are written in that order. Again, author, title of work, and fact of publication. Then elements are separated by commas. Then the facts of publication are enclosed in parentheses. Then authors' names are presented in standard order. That is the first name first. Then titles are capitalized, headline style. Capitalize the first and last words in titles and subtitles. And capitalize all other major words. Then titles of larger works are italicized. Titles of smaller works or unpublished works are presented in Roman and enclosed in quotation marks. So such terms as editor, edited by, translator or translated by, volume and edition are abbreviated. So only the page numbers where the material or passage was sourced from will be provided on the notes. Yan. So, please study na lang po nito about sa sample natin sa source noting. Kapag books, kapag with one author, with two authors, tapos article in a print journal. So, meron tayong style, meron tayong guide. Then, we have also a guide kapag ang kinuha natin article in a newspaper or popular magazine. Then, kapag source natin ay electronic resources, so we also have books published electronically, how to do that. Then, journal article in an online journal. We have the website. Paano natin i-cite ang website? And then, photograph or images in print. Then, free royalty images from the internet. Then, Creative Commons images. Then bibliographic entries, ito na yung sa reference part of the LRs. So bibliographic entry of notes should follow this style. So regardless of page numbers, where the passages and materials borrowed appear, the entries in bibliography are arranged alphabetically. So alphabetical ang arrangement pa rin, dun na sa references natin. Then elements are separated by periods rather than by commas. Then the facts of publication are not enclosed in parentheses. So this is the part in the references po. Then author's name is inverted, last name first. Then in case of multiple authors, the first listed author's name should be inverted, while other authors follow the standard order. So titles are capitalized, headline style, unless they are in a foreign language. So titles of larger works are italicized. Titles of smaller works or unpublished works are presented in Roman and enclosed in quotation marks. Such terms as editor or edited by, translator, translated by, volume, and edition are spelled out in a bibliography. No page number is provided, but for journal articles or chapters, the beginning and ending page numbers of the entire material may be provided. So again, we will give a copy to this so that you can have your self-learning, self-study, okay? So we have our examples. Kapag books with one author, books with two authors, articles, so article in a print journal, article in a newspaper or popular magazine, then electronic resources, so books published electronically, then books, journal article in an online journal, then photographs and images, then photograph or image in print. Okay, so that's referencing. Again, the CMOS po, so if you can get a copy of that CMOS, then you can start studying also what is that all about. All right, So from those from those activities that we have, the social content guidelines, and we know how to manage our copyright, how to style guide, and we know the general LR standards or specifications, and of course the process of designing and quality assurance. Now it's our time to know and be familiar with the evaluation tools to be used in evaluating our materials. Like what we said, you are going to conduct your in-house or internal review. So after that one, magkaroon na naman ng conformance by the learning area supervisor as to language and content. Then, pag need talaga din titingnan ang LR standard, of course, titingnan din ng LRMS kapag compliant ba ang material sa LR standards. Then, after which, dalhin na sa regional office for quality assurance. Ano na, doon na ang content, language, and layout. And ito po yung materials na gamitin. So, meaning to say po, development teams must know how the materials will be evaluated. And what are the factors to be considered so that when you are going to develop the materials, you will be compliant to these indicators. Okay, so we have here, as to content, so first talaga na gagawin po is content. After content evaluation, ibalik sa inyo ang material. Okay, pag tapos mabalik na sa inyo, meaning to say, that's your time to revise the materials. So you will revise the materials based on the summary of findings given by the learning resource evaluator. Once it is revised, so you are going to the development team through your the development team will submit that one to the regional LRMS for QA in language and in layout. Tapos, results will be given back to the development team for revision. So that's version 2 already of the manuscript. So ma-revised siya. Then once revised, finish na ang revision for version 2, then we will submit that one again to the regional office for conformance review of our regional education program supervisors in charge of the learning areas. So, ganun. So, pag tapos na din si conformance review or review of the revised, ibalik na naman sa development team. Pagbalik dun sa development team, ipa-finalize na ang module. Okay. Then, sarap na ng feeling kasi finalization na. Then, after finalization, ibalik na naman sa regional office for final look. Yun kasi ang term ng BLD, final look after conformance review. So, magpa-final review na si regional EPS. So, sa final review niya, siya na din ang mag-determine, siya na ang determining factor. Kung sabihin na niya na this is okay, this is ready to use, ganon. So, compliant na. So, si EPS na ng region ang mag-decide on that matter. Okay? So, ito na yung gagamitin na evaluation tools. As to content, diba, sabi natin kanina, factor number 1 is intellectual property rights compliance. So, ito po yung mga ang learning resource ba has no copyright violations, wala bang ang copyrighted text ba ay properly cited, mga ganon. Copyrighted materials used in the LR are accurately cited, and then references are properly cited in the bibliography. So, i-check yan ng LRE. So, yes or no, complied or not complied. So, next factor is the learning competency. So, sa ating case po, our learning competency, yung nasa MELCs, nasa most essential learning competencies. So, content is consistent with the targeted depth learning competencies intended for the learning area and grade level. Okay? Then, instructional design and organization. So, yung sa instructional design and organization, this part or this factor talks about yung content. Paano siya sinulat si content? How it is presented ang content? Paano siya gi-unpack ang content? Yan po. Nandyan yan sa design and organization. Then, we will move, again, yes or no lang po yan, yes or no. Then, let's move to instructional quality. Ano naman ang nasa instructional quality? So this is all about information, content and information are accurate, up to date, tapos free from any social content violations. Di ba? We have 9 themes. So titingnan din yun, i-determine yun ng learning resource evaluators na walang problem sa social content or walang violation sa social content. Yan. Then free from factual errors. Then computational errors if applicable. Then grammatical errors. Yan, titingnan yan. Di ba? Kasi dadaan ng in-house language editor ang ating material. So, yes, yes lang din yan, or no, yes, yes, dapat. Then complied or not complied. So, mayroon naman tayong 5 criterion items must be marked yes to indicate compliance to this factor. Then next, yung assessment part. Ano yung nasa assessment part? This is all about LR provides useful measures and information that help the teacher evaluate learners' progress in mastering the target competencies. So assessments are aligned with the specific objectives and content. Dito naman yung issue natin sa congruency, alignment, di ba? Na yung mga activities ba natin along the way, yung mga single out natin na activities until to the assessment ay congruent ba? Aligned to the most essential learning competency identified. So yan po. And I know the writers know about this one. Then, of course, mayroon din tayong may rubrics ba na provide or variety of activities within the LR are utilized to ensure active engagement of the learners. Then, next is the readability. So, the readability is all about the vocabulary. Yung ginamit natin na vocabulary, yung length of sentences, the sentences and the paragraph structures, the logical and smooth flow of ideas, then consistently good use of transition devices, and lessons, instructions, exercises, questions, and activities are clear to the target user. So yan po ang readability na factor. So 6 factors po to be satisfied in order for us, in order to know that the material is compliant. So satisfy natin yung content, kumbaga content compliant na yung material natin, yung manuscript. So as to the recommendation, so mayroong minor revision, then major revision. Tapos nandyan ang yung tinawag na field testing. Pero of course, hindi na natin i-perform si field testing. Then as yung ang babalik po sa development team is yung tinawag nating evaluation tool, itong nakita niyo po sa screen, plus yung summary of findings. Doon sa summary of findings po, doon isulat lahat ng LREs ang kanilang nakita, diba? Parang yung results ng kanilang evaluation. That is page by page po, line by line. So at least po, guided si development team kung ano ang gagawin niya. And then, as development team, what are you going to do is to add 1 column to the summary of findings. That column is labeled as action taken, meaning to say there's a need for the development team to spell out or to describe ano ang kanyang ginawa sa mga findings. Okay? Di-comply ba niya ang findings? Or may mga findings din na pwede hindi i-comply. For example, hindi ka sang-ayon sa findings ng LRE. So you can explain that one in the action taken. Bakit hindi mo ginawa? Because ganito. So you can do that. So again po, in the summary of findings that you will be receiving, please add 1 column, and that column is intended for action taken. And what would be written in the action taken? That is all the things you do about the findings, about the comments of the LREs. Okay? So, after the content evaluation, di ba, you revise the material. So, as you are done revising the material, you return that one to the QA team. So, pagbalik na yan sa QA team, ang gagawin ni QA team is to do the language evaluation and the layout evaluation simultaneous na. So, sa language evaluation po, titingnan ngayon ang coherence and clarity of thought. So, may guide questions si LREs. So kung nasatisfy yan siya, so yes, 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 so compliant. The next, grammar and syntax. So mayroon ding checklist dyan si LRE, ano yung grammar and syntax. So usually po, this is all about agreement between subject and verb, correct use of verb tenses, tapos misplaced or dangling modifiers, unclear antecedents and agreement between pronouns and their antecedent, then faulty parallel construction, split infinitives, overuse of certain words, and redundancies. Then we also have factor in language, yung spelling and punctuation. And then consistency and style. Hini-highlight po natin kasi yung sa style natin is yung use po ng serial comma. Yung serial comma po meaning to say a comma before and or must be observed. So for example, apple, comma, ball, comma, and tapos ano yung kasunod. So mayroon siyang comma before and or before or. So that ang tawag natin dyan is serial comma. So consistency and style. Okay, ano yung consistency and style? Yung alternative spellings are permitted. Choice was a choice made and used consistently throughout the material. Ito pong tandaan natin sa Filipino kasi yung style natin po ay formal. Di ba formal tayo? So iwika natin sa formal ang mga words in Filipino. Yung sample po natin na formal na language sa Filipino, ito din natutunan natin, di ba, sa paggawa ng ADM modules. Yung dapat po, yung kuwento, hindi siya kwento. Dapat may KU talaga, kuwento. Ang kapwa, maging kapua. Di ba, may U. So, spell out talaga. So, yan ang tawag natin na formal. So, again, kasi learning resource ang gagawin natin. So, formal language po tayo. So, yung words natin. So, okay po tayo dyan. Alam yan ng mga Filipino. Then, malaki din ang tatrabahuin ng mga language evaluators sa Filipino. Kasi nga, sabi ko a while back, mas marami po ang learning areas na Filipino ang medium. Konti lang yung nag-i-English. And then, physical, dito naman tayo sa layout. Again, simultaneous po ang evaluation ng language at ng layout. So, sa layout evaluation, titingnan ngayon ang physical attributes ng material. So, check the LRs for appropriateness. For example, the cover, the completeness of required elements. So, yung mga required elements natin. Yan. For this, titingnan natin mamaya kung mayroon ba tayong cover sa ating LR. Sa design and layout also, yung consistent use of elements. Ayan. So, titingnan yan sa yung design and layout. Then, typographical organization. Then, appropriate font size and styles. Then, follow the rules in the use of boldface and italics. Ayan. Ito pong standard na ito, yung font size and styles, yung technical specifications na po ng LR na standard natin. And we can ask a copy of that sa LRMS. Okay? And then, the visuals. So, anong meron sa visuals? So, visual of the LRs should supplement the text, clarify the concept, be consistently clear in content and detail, then appropriate to the learner's age, culture, and life situation, then sustain interest and not distract learner's attention, then be appropriately placed in the page and proportionally drawn in size, be appealing, simple, and easily recognizable. Then be realistic and use appropriate color. Then set in grayscale if original visuals are colored. Not be shaded if line drawings. Then be facing inside the pages of illustrations. Okay, are people or animals? Okay, ito pong visuals natin. Okay, dapat po talaga compliant din kasi part siya. Mayroon tayong tinawag na text and yung visuals na ratio. So, sa K to 3, mayroon din sa 50-50 ba yun? Or yung, basta yung mayroong ratio dyan, may standard din dyan. So, part yan siya ng LR technical standards. So, we're done with the standards. Okay, we're about to, ano ba talagang gagawin natin, di ba? So, oriented na tayo with the standards. with the content and language, and we know the how are we and how these materials be evaluated. So ano ba talaga ang gagawin natin? So the regional office come up with the regional office uh, have this one release a memorandum about the unified templates. So these templates po, these templates are product of the the discussion and the collaborative effort of the learning resource management section. So pinagtulungan po ito ng mga SDOs to come up with this unified templates. So we have template for activity sheets, we have template for this one, for the lesson exemplar and template for the self-learning modules. Template po yun. But take note po na in LMS, ang pinagawa natin, diba, based on the memorandum is yung interactive lesson exemplars and interactive activity sheets. Okay. So, we will talk focus tayo sa dalawa, yung activity sheets. So, unahin natin sa activity sheets. So, ano yung activity sheets natin? So, we have activity sheets templates for kindergarten to grade 3. Tapos, for grades 4 and grades, yung kasi iba-iba. Kasi, if you got the copies of all these templates, di ba pa iba-iba siya according sa grade level. Kasi, as you notice po, iba-iba din ang font style at iba-iba din ang font sizes. For K-3, our font style is alphabeto. So, yung lahat ng materials natin po sa K-3, kapag learners materials yon ay alphabeto ang font style. Kayo ba ay may alphabeto na font style sa inyong computers or laptops? Mayroon na ba kayo niyan? If wala pa po, you can ask a copy again from the LRMS, or we can provide that through the Google Drive, or we will provide that through the Google Drive, yung installer ng Alphabeto. That's for the K-3. And for the other other grade levels, iba na din ang kanilang font sizes, iba na din ang style nila, ganon. So, kaya po dun sa material po, yung makita nyo, if you have the activity sheets, iba-iba talaga siya, parang hinati-hati. Kasi nga, yun na sabi ko a while back, depende sa kanyang font style at sa kanyang sizes. Pero pareho lang sila ng mga icons. So this part is our icons. Then we have the labels of each icon. Diba? May mga label ang icon. Tapos yung parang description. Ano ba yung icon na to or ano ang part na ito? So this is what we call generally the elements of our activity sheets. So, we have the icon, yung ganyan. Pag makakita ka ng parang, airplane na papel. So, that is mga dapat buhaton. So, mayroon din tayong translated na in mother tongue, tapos in Filipino, and in English. So, mga kailangan kong gawin, tapos what I need to do. So, remember, yung activity sheets kasi natin ay dapat interactive and conversational sa bata. So, in this part, ang gagawin natin dito is we are going to state the direction or instruction on what the learners must do. Then emphasize here the concept or the competency to be achieved and mastered by the learners. Then state in a friendly and interactive manner. So parang ito pa yung siniset mo. Ang sabi akong dapat buhaton. So diri na part i-inform na to si learners sa iyang buhaton. And part of it is yung competency na dapat niyang ma-achieve. The next part is yung clock na number 1. Or ano yan siya, di ba? Alarm clock ba yan? Okay, number 1. Ito yung tinawag natin hibalui kini or paghahanda or the gearing up. So this is now, di ba, we're talking of activity sheet. So this is an activity called natin ay guided or controlled practice. We're going to state here the procedure or how the learners do this given activity. So, kung titingnan natin, kasi 1 pa siya, parang, di ba, sabi natin, simple to complex. So, parang ito yung initial activity. So, simple pa lang ito. So, parang guided and controlled by us. So, gearing up pa, meaning to say, warm up pa, no? Parang starting off, yung ganon. Then, after that one, si number 2 na naman. Meaning to say, nagle-level up na ang ating activity. So, this is all about ang in mother tongue, ito po yung tinawag na para mahimong maayo or pagiging mas mabuti or mas mas then getting better in English. So this comprises activity for independent practice to solidify learners' understanding and skills of the concept or competency. Then in this part also, we are going to state the procedure or how the learners do this given activity. Okay? Then number 2 na yan. So that is now, di ba, pataas na tayo sa level ng difficulty. Then the third part is yung number 3 na naman. So that is what we call gaining mastery in English. Kapag English yung medium natin or pagiging mas mabuti or para mahanas. So this provides an activity which will help learners transfer their knowledge or skill into real-life situations or yung concerns nila. Then state here the procedure or how the learners do this given activity. Okay po? So, di ba? As you see po, paiba-iba na ang level ng difficulty ng ating activities. Then, we can provide rubrics. So, this is optional part. Pero pag mayroong rubrics, mas maganda din. So, rubrics sa pagmarka, pamantayan sa pagwawasto, then rubrics for scoring. So, sabi dyan, if applicable lang po. So, we are going to provide rubrics on how the learners or their outputs will be graded. Then, may part din tayo na mga kinahanglan hinumduman. So, parang sa last part na po, mga dapat kong tandaan or what I need to remember. So, dito po, this is closure. Parang magpo-closure na tayo. So, present here a statement on relevance, meaning, and application of the concept or skill developed in this activity to real-life situation or experience. So, hindi na ito siya activity. Closure naman ito, parang i-wrap up na natin yung activity na ginagawa ng ating learners. Okay? Then, sa last part po, ito talaga ang hindi dapat mawala. But we're going to provide this one in a separate sheets kasi activity sheet method. This is different from the module. So, susi sa pag-insakto, susi sa pagwawasto, or in English, that is answer key. So, we follow kasi the standard label, parang, di ba, from the from the central office when it comes to the labeling of the LRs. So, an answer key may be included for teachers' use only. Kasi nga, di ba, kay answer key man yan siya. So, separate sheets siya for activity sheets. Okay, so simple lang po yung elements natin. Ito lang po yung nag-comprise ng elements ng ating activity sheets. So, titingnan natin again. So, this is yung mukha ng activity sheets natin. Mayroong name, grade and section, tapos date, tapos title of the activity. So, gawan din natin ng catchy na title ang activity. Plus, ilagay din natin ano yung learning competency na mayroon ang activity sheets na ito. Okay? So, that's one, isa na yung nagawa natin, yung self at yung activity sheets. Next na gagawin natin is yung lesson exemplar. Ayan. Diba? So, alam naman natin to, parang gumagawa tayo ng detailed na lesson plan. Pero sa atin exemplar, maging sample. Maging parang siya yung model na lesson plan. Okay? So, this is our template. Mayroon tayong separate template for K-3. Because yung sa part ng developmental activities, so pareho lang tayo kasi 'di ba this is format na yung may number yung lesson plan natin, mayroong content standard, performance standard, the learning competency and its code, tapos the key concept, tapos the learning objectives, the content, the references, the resources, tapos learning procedures. So pareho tayo na mayroong preliminary activities, mayroong drill, may review, may motivation. Tapos yung sa developmental activities, kasi K-3, di ba sabi natin parang explicit teaching tayo. So dapat po in the developmental activities, yung klarong-klaro po ang modeling, yung guided practice, tapos yung application. Di ba kapag modeling, yung I do, yung guided practice, that is we do, ang kanyang dating, tapos application is you do. Okay? Then, pareho na din tayo sa standard parts yung evaluation, agreement, then assignment, then we could also write our reflection. So kapag gagamitin na ito ni teacher, so mag-write din siya ng kanyang reflection. So that's for K to 3. Again, dun lang po magkaiba sa developmental activities. In grades 4 to grade 12 po, the developmental activities, parang nakafocus siya sa 4 A's. Kasi nga, adult na din sila, malaki na sila. So we have activity, analysis, abstraction, then application. And then go again with the same standard on the evaluation, the agreement or assignment, and the reflection. So yan po. So yun ang part ng ating lesson exemplar. So again po, focus natin for LMS yung activity sheets, tapos yung lesson exemplar. So to the development teams, ito po ang i-prepare natin na materials. So as we prepare these materials po, ito yung timeline natin. Then sa development, nako, ang timeline natin no, parang we're given 10 days. Yun ang projection natin. 10 days to develop the materials, including na dyan yung internal review, yung conformance review, bago natin i-submit for regional level na QA. Okay? So, July 3 to July 13, meaning to say, a day after today, magsa-start na tayo magawa ng So I believe also that the EPS in the region has already assigned SDO with their assigned grade level, and assigned quarter perhaps na gagawan. But of course, ang gagawan po muna natin, una-una po is the quarter 1, most essential learning competencies na nasa quarter 1. Yan ang unahin natin po. So, siguro na-distribute na yan, di ba? Na-distribute na yan by kung sino ang gagawa ng week 1, ng week 2, ng week 3, ng 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kasi parang 8 lang yata ang nasa MELTS pero 8 or 9, 10. Pero I believe most of the MELTS, yung duration niya ay nasa week 8. So, siguro yung bawat MELT doon, bawat competency and the MELTs ay nahati-hati na sa development team. So, hindi naman ganun karami siguro ang gagawa ng isang development team sa quarter 1. Then, iba na naman ang phase for quarter 2, iba na naman ang timeline natin for quarter 3, then for quarter 4. So, for quarter 1, we will target that July 3 to July 13, yung development phase natin ay matapos na. Okay, tapos na tayo dyan. Meaning to say, complete pati internal review or conformance review, pati na final revision of the manuscript. Tapos, pagsikapan din ng regional level, pagsikapan na matapos din ang QA by July 20 to July 31. Okay, so malaki din na bagay to for our LREs. Bago natin yan siya mako-convert into different formats. Dapat yung manuscript natin ay properly evaluated talaga bago siya ma-convert into different formats. Okay, so kaya natin to basta we will work as one. So kayanin natin to. Okay po? So that's our timeline. And with that, because we have already our timeline, okay, I would like to say congratulations in advance. And for we are the regional office po with the CLMD and with all the regional education program supervisors are really willing to help and guide you in this process. So the development teams in the division offices can really connect to the regional office for this matter, para pagtulungan natin na gawin ang development, pati yung quality assurance of the materials. So with that po, God bless and thank you.
Yan, maraming salamat, Ma'am Ann. Ma'am Annaliza Almazan, ayan po. So Ma'am Ann, siguradong maraming katanungan po ngayon. Ano po? Pero bago po yan, although yung inyong presentasyon ay komprehensibo po at saka naayos ang pagkakasunod-sunod, pero talagang siguro dahil sa mga internet connectivity o di kaya meron namang iba na hindi talaga kaagad-agad nakahabol sa ating webinar dahil po sa mga personal na mga kadahilanan. Pero ganun pa man po, Ma'am Ann, bago tayo dumako sa ating question and answer portion, ay makakasama na natin ngayon on screen ang ating hepe ng Curriculum and Learning Management Division na mula pa po, kagagaling lang niya ng travel sa Davao Occidental at ngayon ay nasa regional office na siya. So, controller, pwede ipasok natin si Ma'am Janet. Ma'am Jan, good afternoon. Ayan. Hello
Yes,
po,
good
Ma'am Jan.
afternoon.
Hi!
Yes.
Hello,
Alamin niyo
Doc!
kung anong place ito. Yeah.
Sa ano, child minding.
Yes, nasa child minding ako. Kasi parang niraramdam na natin na papasok na tayo sa school year 2020-2021 at parang ramdam na natin ang pagbabalik ng ating mga kabataan. Ayan.
Okay po.
Okay.
So, Ma'am Jan, Ma'am Ann, bago tayo mag
Opo.
Q&A, Ma'am, mensahe po muna sa ating mga participants. Meron po tayong around mahigit sa 1,000 po na nanonood sa atin sa pagkakataong ito. So, Ma'am Jan, please give your message to us. Thank you.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I am very happy that everyone, especially our counterpart in the division, our chiefs of the curriculum implementation division, they are all here. We have from Davao City, Chief Alma Cifra, for Davao de Oro, Chief Josie Bolofer, and for our Davao del Norte, Chief Edward Amogis, for Davao del Sur, Chief Cherilyn Comita, for Davao Oriental, we have Chief Esther Jean Pelayo, and for our Davao Occidental, Chief Felix Anticristo, and for our Digos City, Chief Beverly Daog-Daog, and for our Island Garden City of Samal, we have Chief Chona Calatrava, and for Mati City, Chief Maria Gina Flores, and for our Panabo City, Chief Januario Yamuta, and for Tagum City, we have OIC Chief Maria Fe Sibuan, and the rest of our development teams. As you all know, we have a series of preparation for the coming school year, but this one is very important and vital. Why? Because we move all our development teams to the writing phase of the lesson exemplars, and we want to have everybody the same takeoff in terms of our standards and also all the things that are vital for the development of the materials, and one of which is on copyright and all that concerns about quality assurance to ensure that all that we develop are really within the standards. So I'm very happy that the team is now with us. Together with my counterpart in the curriculum, we have our in charge for the LRMS, our young but the strongest. We have EPS Alma C. Almasan or Analisa C. Almasan, parang nawawala ako. I'm sorry for that. And for our English, we have Dr. Vallejo. For TLE and EPP, we have Dr. Pedelina Huevos. For mathematics, we have Dr. Renato Pakpakin. For our alternative learning system, Dr. Maricel Langahid. For SPA, SPS, SPED, parang mabigat na portfolio ito sa kanya, but she's still pretty and lovable. We have Miss Jesselyn de la Cuesta, and for our a special program in foreign language, and so with ESP or Edukasyon sa Pagpapakatao, Maria Cielo Isada, and also to our Filipino and campus journalism. And mabigat din ang kanyang portfolio. We have Dr. Mary Jane Mayorada, and for multi-grade and mother tongue, okay, we have very dynamic and active also EPS, Dr. George Wong, to our front line in terms of the comprehensive sexuality, Aralpan, Madrasa. We have Dr. Danilo Duhinog, and for our, of course, the main in all the sports activities, we have also our in charge in science and also in STE, SSES. We have Dr. Maria Lisa Berandoy. Meron pa ba akong nakalimutan? Parang na-explain ko na lahat. Yes. And all the staff of the CLMD. So lahat kayo very important to us. And to the rest of the participants, we want to have the synergy on starting today because our task is to complete the first quarter. We would want that pag ibababa na natin ang learning management system, it will have a complete array of all the learning resources and most especially the lesson exemplars that will be converted into interactive lesson by our layout artists, our ICT experts, and all our, shall we say, illustrators. And with this synergy that we're going to begin starting today, and with the standards that you know, and with the familiarization of all the details that you have grasped from the presentation of Dr. Annalisa Almasan. So we are assured that our first quarter will be completed before the opening of classes. So we would want, ito ay progressive naman, hindi naman ito isang malakihan na from first to fourth quarter, but it is starting from quarter one. So we are assured that all of this will be completed by then that we are going to open the school year. So maraming salamat sa inyong schools division superintendent at assistant superintendent at sa lahat po na sumusuporta sa atin. So with you working with us as well, aabangan din namin kayo sa ating darating na tomorrow. I believe that all of you are also included for the training on the script writing and also broadcasting. So we want everyone to be on deck and be on board on that training, and also the conversion of the materials. Kasi kung lahat tayo alam nito, so there's no reason that we cannot complete. The conversion of the materials into ebook and interactive lessons, and also radio scripts and TV-based scripts will be on, shall we say, July 13 to 16. That would be handled by ICTS through our head or the executive assistant of the Office of Undersecretary for Administration, Mr. Mark Anthony CC. So I would want each one to be on board also in that training, so we can just easily provide you the link through your respective chief of the Curriculum Implementation Division. So with that, maraming salamat at saka damhin nyo na, ito yung playground ng Department of Education Regional Office 11. Pinakita ko lang sa inyo, ang sarap dito na maglaro. So when you come to our regional office, this is where our learners would love to stay, and we are going to include also in that shelves, pupunuin namin yan ng mga libro at saka laruan. So with that, this is signaling us that we are prepared for the opening of the school year. God bless everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Janet Gibilosa. Ayan po, maraming salamat ma'am. Ano po, kahit po na napaka-busy po ninyo, ay napaunlakan niyo po kami na makasama sa virtual podium na ito Although po pagkatapos nito meron pa tayong kasunod, gayon pa man habol po tayo at kaya natin 'to. So, sa punto pong ito, Ma'am Jan, Ma'am Ann, ay entertain na po tayo ng ilang mga katanungan mula po sa ating mga viewers. Requesting our controller to please post po the question on screen. Ayan. From Aljon Hordan, can we have a copy of the slides po? Hindi po kasi clear yung video po kasi mahina yung connection. Thank you po and God bless. I think Sir Aljon, ma'am, is nakasama din natin ito from Sigaboy po yan, Ma'am Ann. Kaya po medyo nagkakaroon.
Okay. Sige po. Bibigyan natin. Kaya po, yung gagawin natin yung gagawa tayo ng Google Drive, tapos ipasok natin lahat ng files natin, yung lahat ng sinabi ko ng mga forms, pati itong slides na to, ipasok natin sa Google Drive para ma-distribute natin sa kanila.
Okay
Para
po.
ma-review na
Pero
lang
ma'am,
din nila.
Opo, saan po natin ito idadaan, ma'am? Sa kanilang mga,
mga-
LR managers? Sa
Ay,
respective divisions po?
Opo, oo. Idaan natin sa mga LR managers.
Okay po. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ayan po, Sir Aljon, ha? Sa lahat po ng aming nanonood sa amin ngayon, meron pong copy na ibibigay po sa inyong mga LR managers, lalong-lalo na yung mga presentations kanina ni Ma'am Annaliza. Okay po. So, next question po tayo. Ayan po, from Jomar Sareno Opaila Lumagsaw. Ayan po. Thank you so much, sir, sa iyong hindi ito actually, ano ba to? Ito. Katanungan niya, ask lang po about what school year po ba gagamitin ang ma-create na module. Kasi po, based on the guidelines, protocols at iba pa na dapat i-observe sa pag-develop ng learner's material, hindi po biro, seryoso at it needs enough time. Enough time po kasi marami pa ang dapat i-consider sa paggawa. Salamat po. So, Annaliza.
Yeah, okay. So for that question po, number one, basically, para sa LMS natin, hindi tayo gagawa ng module. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin is more on activity sheets tayo. So, identifying different activities according to level of difficulty, and then to developing also lesson exemplar para may guidance si teachers later on sa kanyang gagawin na klase, diba? So, sir, pero yung sa module na pinagsabi ni sir, if we will be single out that one, kaya naman din i-address talaga ng modules yung guidelines natin. So, yung time element lang siguro, tama si sir din nakita niya, yung time element in doing the module. Ganun lang. Pero, sir, kaya naman kasi katulad ng ginawa natin na ADM materials, na kaya din natin po gawin yung modules sa mga ADM materials given the time po.
Ayan. So, Ma'am Jan, may maidagdag ka po ba regarding this po?
Okay, ang sa pagkakaalam ko, ang ating gagawin ay hindi po self-learning modules. Dahil ito po ay ginawa na ng ating naka-assign na mga developers sa bawat division. Yes, at tayo po ay nakatoka sa ating deliverables ng grade 3. So, ibig sabihin, paano ba ang ibang learning area or ibang level or grade levels? Ito po ay nationwide. It's a collaborative effort of all the regions. So all the regions will be pooling all their self-learning modules assigned to them. So our region is assigned to grade 3. So no need for us to make the module because all of this will be devolved to us and downloaded through the LR. And that what we're going to do is that we are going to make our LMS loaded with activities and interactive lessons or lesson exemplars ready for our virtual classrooms and ready for our learners. Because the direction is that if our LMS will be devolved to the school and will be present in every home. So all of this will help our learners and ensure continuity of their education.
Ayun.
That's
So thank you so much Ma'am Jan and Ma'am Ann. Ayan po nga sa aming mga participants. Meron lamang po tayong specific naka-assign na grade level na gagawan po ng module ng Region 11. Pero
Okay.
po sa iba pang mga modules, meron din po naka-assign ng mga regions. Ang gagawin na lang po natin ay gagawa po tayo ng mga series of activity sheets at saka lesson exemplars kung saan ay aakma po doon sa mga module na ibababa naman ng iba pang ng DepEd Central Office sa atin para po sa ating rehiyon. Ayan po. So hindi po talaga ganun kahirap sapagkat tayo po ay tulong-tulong sa panibagong normal na ito. At yun nga po tulad ng nasabi namin, dedikasyon, commitment sa trabaho at saka yung sinumpaan nating tungkulin ang ating gagampanan para din po sa pagsulong ng ating bayan para po sa ating mga kabataan. Ayan po, maraming salamat. May katanungan pa ba tayo dyan? Ayan, meron po. As part of LMS developer po, what if we are going to upload ADM copy or convert ADM to instructional video as part of LMS learners activity? Do we need to ask permission to the writer from Ma'am Shane Lopina? Isa po siyang part siya ng LMS developer. So Ma'am
Oo.
Ann?
Yung answer po natin, lahat po kasi ng ADM modules ay i-convert natin into different formats. So, as part of the LMS developer, hindi na natin galawin yung modules ng ADM po kasi mayroon na tayong specific din timeline for that for conversion of these materials. Di po ba?
Ayun.
Di ba? Kasi
Okay po.
i-convert talaga natin yan at ilagay natin sa LMS. Di ba, Doc Jan? Yun ang target natin.
Okay, ganito yan. Ang pagko-convert ng self-learning modules muna ako mag-focus ha.
Yung
Ang
sa ADM
conversion
muna,
ng
Doc.
self-learning modules, ipaalala ko ito sa lahat na parang dili maguba ang kamada. Maumang ko niya ang term na natanggap ko today. Dili maguba ang kamada. O, take note ha, mga chips natin. Take note. Sinadya talaga namin na ang magko-convert ay ang pinili natin na special or tinatawag natin na school paper advisors na meron silang sound training as to radio scripts and TV broadcasting. Their training would be tomorrow. Although they will be observing the training kasi dalawa lang ang makapasok sa loob ng Zoom, but it will be Facebook Live. However, it is required that once they watch the Facebook Live or the YouTube link, they have already their milks at saka yung copy ng ADM or self-learning modules. Why we are choosing this group? Because we want all the development or the writers or developers who are assigned to develop the quarters 1 up to 4 are going to focus in the development of the self-learning modules. But the conversion, it will be for the Microsoft ambassadors, school paper advisors assigned. I'm talking of conversion to ebook that will be assigned to Microsoft ambassadors, conversion to interactive lesson to ICT experts, and conversion to radio scripts and TV scripts to our school paper advisors. Kaya malinaw na yan. Walay maguba nga kamada. What we want is our writers will focus because we are catching timelines. Ang timelines ang tinitingnan natin dito. We do not want delay. We cannot delay. Any moment of delay will affect nationwide. Meaning, we are committed for the grade 3. So kung madedelay tayo, madedelay ang buong grade 3 nationwide. Kaya focus ang ating writers ng self-learning modules sa pagsusulat at pag-develop. Ang lahat ng conversion ay inassign na namin sa mga ambassadors, sa ating ICT experts and school paper advisors. Kaya malinaw na yon sa lahat. Hindi ko na yan i-explain sa ating curriculum implementation division chiefs. Oo. Yan.
Ayun. Ayan, thank you so much, Ma'am Jan. Ano po, ayan, medyo kinabahan ako kasi kasama po ako doon sa ano eh, doon sa radio. Pero okay lang, sige po, kaya natin 'to. So gano'n pa man, yun nga po, sumumpa tayo ng ating tungkulin na magturo, kaya gagawin din po natin ang ating parte para po mabahagi natin ang ating kaalaman para sa pagsulong ng ating bayan. Thank you so much, Ma'am Janet and Ma'am Annaliza. Of course, next question tayo. Ayan. Ito po, from Ma'am Grace. Ayan. For lesson exemplar, can we use the 7 E's in science instead of 4 A's?
Yeah. We
Ma'am
have an initial, yes po. We have, the answer is yes po, because we have an initial, ano na, parang we talked that one already with Dr. Berandoy about that one, that in the development of the lessons na part nila, instead na magpo 4A's sila, 7, ano, yung 7E's nila. Kasi yun daw talaga for the science. And the answer po is yes for that.
Okay po. So this is only
At
for
saka-
science, ma'am. Ano po?
Yes, at saka ito ay katumbas sa sinabi ng senior sa atin ni Dr. Duhinog na meron din silang tinatawag na storyboard. Yung
Opo.
tinatawag nila na 4, opo, yun din ang mga unique sa kanila. Opo.
So baka
Okay.
doon po sa part ng ano development of the yung part po na gano, 'di ba? Pwede na tayo pa iba-iba doon according sa context ng ating learning area.
Okay po. Pero yung kahit na nagkakaiba-iba tayo, ma'am, in learning area, pero yung ibababa natin sa LMS are all standards.
Yes po,
Tama
opo.
po. Yes.
Yes po.
So ibig sabihin yun na yun. Wala nang
Oo.
babaguhin at wala nang idadagdag pa. Okay po. So ayun po ha, malinaw po sa lahat ng aming mga participants sa hapong ito. Malinaw po yung kasagutan ng ating mga eksperto pagdating po sa ating learning materials. Ayan po. Next question tayo. Meron pa ba tayo, ma'am, controller? Yan. Actually po, naghahanap ang ating controller. Ano po, kasi po, both live tayo sa YouTube channel at saka sa CLMD page natin sa Facebook. Kaya dalawa po ang portal natin. So ito na, nakahanap na si ma'am controller natin from Jean Rose Mediana Manuop. As we are working physically at 2:30, work from home, do we have a certificate of participation or appearance since we use biometric po? Ayan.
Doc Jan, si Doc Jan. That's
Jan.
kilala ko ang nagtanong na yan. Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Okay,
Sige po.
certificate of appearance, hindi po appearance ang matatanggap nyo. Participation. Oo, participation po. Both yan. So, kailanganin, anong sasagutin nila, John, at the end? Meron kayong sasagutin para kayo po ay
Okay.
mapagbigyan noon. Oo.
Yes.
Mayroon tayong
Opo.
ibigay mamaya for their attendance, di ba?
Opo.
Yes, meron tayo. Yan. Ayan. So, meron tayong ibibigay sa inyo po, Ma'am Jean Rose, at sa lahat ng aming mga participants. Of course, ang effort po naman ninyo na manood sa ating webinar na ito ay hindi naman din po masasayang dahil higit sa mga ano pa mang papel dyan, ang kaalaman naman na natutunan natin at ganoon din po yung ating mga roles na gagampanan sa pag-develop ng ating learning materials ay higit na mahalaga sa ating para sa ating mga kabataan, hindi lamang po para sa ating mga sarili. Ayan po. So, next question po tayo. May katanungan pa ba tayo dyan? Okay po. Ayan, while waiting po, ma'am, sa mga katanungan, muli nagpapasalamat po tayo sa ating mga CID chiefs din po kasi sila din po nag-spearhead para sa kanilang mga teachers na mag-join sa webinar na ito. Salamat po sa inyo sa 11 divisions po ng buong Region 11. Ito po, may katanungan tayo. As per orientation po ngayon, ang mga layout artist ay ang last touch. Ano po ba ito accordingly as workflow po?
Okay. So last touch kasi sila yung sila, 'di ba, layout artist, kayo yung magpa-final look sa material as to design and layout. So kayo talaga ang last na makahawa kasi pagtapos na ng writers yung content, ng illustrations, yung mga illustrations. So kayo kasi ang magle-layout niyan, kayo ang mag-ensure during na compliant ang material as to the LR standards, as to paging, as to the font sizes, yung mga ganon na bagay. So, kaya yun po ang ibig sabihin
Ayun.
na last batch. Kasi nasa inyo, kayo ang last na may hawak sa material. Okay,
Ayan.
bago natin
Ayun po.
i-submit. Kasi i-submit yan for QA, ibalik na naman, hahawakan nyo, titingnan nyo. But, ayan, yun po ang ibig kong sabihin as I say that.
Ayan. So ito ma'am na ito sa module ito no, yung sa assign sa atin.
Activity sheets. Yung sa,
Activity sheets.
yung sa gagawin na ng ito na sir, ito na yung development na yon.
Ayun. Okay. So thank you so much ma'am.
Ito na
Ano
yan
po?
sa development ngayon. Oo.
Okay po. So ayan, malinaw po ano. So although na meron tayong mga specific roles pero sama sa binisaya pa ang padulungan ra jud ani isara padulong sa ato ang mga estudyante
Learners. Sa itong
atong
estudyante.
learners. Dito jud na padong. Ayan, nakabisaya ako. Sana tama din. Ayun po. So sa punto pong ito, Ma'am Annalisa and Ma'am Janet, ipopost na po natin on screen yung atin po munang mga social media accounts. Huwag po kayong makalimot na mag-like and share sa ating Facebook at mag-subscribe po sa ating YouTube channel. Kasi po mahalaga po ito para sa amin din upang ma-continue din po namin ang live stream gamit po ang mga portals na ito. Ayan po. Para po sa ating CLMD FB page, fb.com/CLMD-DepEd-ROXI. Ayan po yung ating link for our official Facebook page. Yan. Next naman po sa ating YouTube channel. YouTube naman po natin, ayan, https://bit.ly/ytclmd-deped-roxi. Ayan po. So, ngayon pa lang, habang kayo nanonood sa dalawang portals, pwede nyo lang i-like at saka i-subscribe yung ating page. And of course, Ma'am Jan, Ma'am Annalisa, ang pinaka-aantay na link. Ito yun.
Yeah. Okay, ibigay mo na.
Aantay na link ng lahat. Sige po, i-post nyo na ang ating survey and attendance link for this webinar. Ayan po ang ating survey and attendance link, bit.ly/survey -and-attendance. Ayan po. Yan ang ating survey link and attendance for this webinar. At dyan po namin babasehan yung pagbibigay din po ng ating mga certificates. Ayan po. So, Ma'am Annalisa, Ma'am Janet, unahin ko muna si Ma'am Ann. Ilang paalala po o mensahe bago po tayo magtapos sa ating webinar na ito. Ayan po.
Okay,
Sige.
so una-una, I would like really to say thank you for all of you, my gratitude and my salute to the development teams for accepting the challenge of being the writers or being the developers of this learning management system. I know that everyone is very busy already with the different tasks given to you, but but you still give your expertise on this field. So you are really experts to making materials, and you know what, malaki talaga ang bagay na maitulong ng learning materials na gagawin ninyo. Remember, the blood of the curriculum is always been this learning resources. So malaki talaga yan. And with that, to the education program supervisors who are the team leaders of this activity, thank you so much kasi po this is really big. I know that medyo at mayroon tayong ma-experience na struggle, but kayang-kaya natin to basta we will be working as one together with our learning resource management section na mga our managers and our PDOs and librarians and the rest of the LRK players who will be helping us to realize this project. To the learning resource evaluators also, who will be also part of this endeavor kasi sila yung ding mag-ensure na yung materials natin are of quality, yung quality assurance ng materials. So, malaki din yun. So, again, this activity is really big, but we believe that God will help us realize this one. That at the end, that before August 24, we can come up really with materials that are quality assured and ready to use by our learners. Thank you so much to the CLMD family, to our chief. Thank you for guiding us in this activity and for really also supervising us so that we can realize this activity. Thank you so much and God bless everyone.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Ann. Ayan po, maraming salamat sa iyong mensahe. And of course, hindi ko palalagpasin na magbigay ng mensahe ang pinakamaganda at pinakamagaling din natin na chief sa curriculum. Ayan, sa walay pabor-pabor. Ma'am Jan, please give us your message po.
Okay, so hello everyone. So as we come to the conclusion of this webinar, particularly for the discussion of the standards and all the things that you need to be aware of as our part of the development teams, we thank the Lord for this opportunity, and of course to the organizers behind this, my team in the Curriculum and Learning Management Division, and also the one who prepared all the necessary points for discussion, Dr. Annalisa Almazan. So we thank also as well our partner from the top management, of course, of DepEd Region 11, our regional director, Madam Evelyn Arpet Albero, and to our ARD, Madam Maria Ines Asuncion, and of course to our partner from the regional ICTU team, headed by Mr. Ricardo Ginto, who all the way helped us out in the preparation of all our apps to really be able to come up with our webinar today. And we would like to extend our profound gratitude also primarily to the men and women of the Curriculum Implementation Division, our chiefs, and the rest of the apps in the division level, and all the writers, our illustrators, our uh, layout artists, and ICT experts. We thank everyone for coming today. And we would like you to know that all these inputs that you received today will edify us to become the best frontliner in providing basic education. So with that, God bless everyone and thank you. Congratulations as early as now for coming up a very good project, our learning management system, a complete one. Thank you. Yes,
Thank you so
June?
much, Ma'am Janet. Ayan, maraming salamat po, Ma'am Jan. Thank you po sa iyong mensahe sa atin. Ayan nga, tulad nga na sinasabi natin, we heal as one, we work as one, together we are one, and by being together, we can always make a difference. Ayan po.
Yeah.
So, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng aming mga nakasamang participants sa hapong ito. Gayunpaman, bago po natin tapusin ang ating webinar, ay sinimulan po natin ito sa isang panalangin, tatapusin din po natin ito sa isa pang panalangin. So, inaanyayahan ko po ang lahat para po sa panalangin sa hapon ito. Panginoon na aming Diyos, maraming salamat po sa biyaya ng buhay na ipinagkaloob mo sa amin. Salamat din po dakilang Ama, iningatan mo ang aming hiram na buhay. Nakakapagpatuloy kami sa aming mga paglalakbay. Maawa ka po sana dakilang Diyos na ang lahat ng aming natutunan sa hapong ito, naway itimo mo ito sa aming puso at isipan upang patuloy naming gabay sa pagtupad ng aming mga gampanin. Ibilang mo rin itong kabanalan sa bawat isa sa amin, Ama, upang laging mapuri ang banal mong pangalan. Ipagkaloob mo sa amin ang sapat na kaalaman at karunungang nagmumula sa iyo upang ito ang maging kalakasan namin, patuloy naming matupad ang aming mga tungkulin. Pagpalain mo rin ang bawat sambahayan ng iyong mga hinirang. Maawa ka rin po dakilang Diyos, basbasan mo ang bawat isa sa amin. Ito ang maging inspirasyon namin makapagpatuloy kami sa aming mga paglalakbay, higit din po sa mga paglilingkod sa banal mong pangalan. Maawa kang patawarin kami sa lahat ng nagawa naming pagkukulang at kasalanan sa tanging pangalan at karapatan ng Panginoong Hesus. Dakila po naming tagapagligtas. Amen. Maraming salamat po muli. At Ma'am Annalisa and Ma'am Janet, huwag nating kalimutan ang ating signature bye-bye, yung pagbibilang natin simula sa 5,
5,
4,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1,
one.
Bye-bye!
Bye-bye! Ayan.